Hey everybody, what is going on? Serial Lover Jab here, and today I'm playing Entropia Universe. What we're going to be doing today is a roughly 30 PED hunting run on Arkadia Moon. So Arkadia Moon is sort of the newest addition to the Entropia Universe. By the way, it's a 31.6, I believe, yeah, 0.68 PED hunting run. So Arkadia Moon is the latest addition to the sort of Entropia universe, and what we've got here is I found this awesome spawn where we've got some Securious, whatever these mobs are called, soldiers, but we've also got some lower level ones that we can come out here and hunt. So if you guys watched the last video that went horribly wrong, I was hunting these same things, but I was hunting a higher level version of them. So I can't do the level 19s, the level 20s until I figure out sort of what armor they take. Oops, sorry. I'm still getting used to the controls on these planes. But until I figure out what armor these guys can take, I've just got to be very careful about picking and choosing the mobs that I attack. So I'm going to try and find a place that I can spawn or drop that's outside of all of this. And I'm going to pick out, and then what I'm going to do is just pick off some of these lower level mobs, some of the level 11s, and go from there. So let's find the perfect place here. Perfect landing ground. The one thing that I've got to say is a bit annoying about this is there's not really much information out there about these mobs and how much damage they do, and the waypoints that you can set or that you should be able to set for quests and missions aren't there yet. So what I found is basically I come out here and it's sort of just flying around until I can find a spawn. If you don't mind the exploration, it's very cool because there are a few little things hidden here or there to find as you're flying over. But if you're coming out here and you don't really have a spaceship or you don't want to spend the oil to go flying around, I think Arkadia Moon's going to be off limits until there's either a little bit more documentation or until sort of the people who have created this universe figure out a way to give us a little bit more information as far as where to find mobs and everything like that. Again, this thing is still in beta, so it's all this is early days, right? Like early days of any game, there's a lot of stuff that's going to go wrong. There's a lot of stuff that's going to feel off. But that's sort of the price you pay to get in first and be the ones to discover everything. So there's pluses and minuses to this. It's been a long time since we've been able to add any sort of real area to the Entropia universe. So it's exciting to be a part of that, and there's definitely a reward to it. The other thing that's unfortunate here is because of the terrain, it's very hard to play the mobs right. A lot of the time they'll dip behind the terrain like you saw this guy do, and what that means is I can't do some damage while it's coming at me. So that definitely makes it a lot harder. And again, these things are doing damage that I think it's acid or something like that, but the amount of damage they're doing to me with armor on is crazy. Usually Ghost or Vigilante armor is fine for sort of level, 10 to 20 something, maybe like 22, 23 level mobs. You should be able to do it with Ghost or Vigilante, but these guys are very tough. So the higher level mobs like this level 19 guy, I just need to avoid. There's no way I can take him out. I might need to get some new armor or some plates or something like that if I really wanted to come here to hunt. In the last video, I managed to get a pretty high level global, so if I see that, it might be worth the investment to buy a little bit of armor just so I can come out here and kill some of these higher level mobs. But until I really see the value there, it's gonna be hard to convince me that I want to come out here and sort of play at that level, right? Or put that money into the armor. And that's one of the things I think the Moon's actually, I don't think they considered this, but this is going to be one of the issues that they're going to run into. If your mobs are doing very unique types of damage, it can be cool because you can develop a whole sort of ecosystem around it. You know, your planet can loot special types of armor and all sorts of cool stuff like that. But the big problem with it is going to be for someone like me who's just coming out here for, a couple days to hunt, is it worth me getting a whole nother type of armor to take these guys on? Maybe, maybe not. And it's going to remain to be seen. We're going to see what this loot is. I'm going to see sort of what my overall thoughts and feelings about this world are, and we're going to go from there. So I have done a few hunts in between. I've not gotten as lucky as I did with that first kill. Literally the first kill I got on this visit to the planet was a 127 PED global. I've gone through a lot more ammo, and the loot's okay, but it's not blowing me away. We're going to see what happens here, though, because for a lot of you guys, what you see is sort of what you expect, and the last run went so amazing, I wouldn't be surprised if people, like, right away just decided, like, let's head out to the moon. But This is going to be a more realistic go through of it. We're going to be picking and choosing our mobs. We're going to be taking on some lower level mobs and seeing what can happen. And for those of you guys thinking about coming out here with sort of your beginner level armor, I wouldn't recommend killing these things. There's a lot of high level mobs on this planet, and it's very hard to find low level spawns that are good. Even for me with ghost armor and vigilante armor, it's hard for me to find a good sort of spawn point. I've got my death position here because I let myself get killed by one of the mobs just so I can mark it. But as you can see, like, I'm just running the outskirts here. I'm trying my best to find mobs but not get too close. And that's, I mean, there's finesse to it. There's a skill that's required. Oh, I hate that. I wanted to target it and just auto shot. If that had been a level 19, level 20 mob, that would have been really, really bad. We're okay though, because level 9 I can take. But you still see, these guys are doing way more damage to me than a level 9 mob that I'd normally face, especially wearing ghost armor. To be honest, it feels like I'm unarmored. That's why I think they're doing acid damage or something that I just don't have the armor for. And again, this can be fixed. Like if I go back to Calypso and next time I know I'm coming out here, I'll just grab better armor. I'll grab some armor that's sort of suited for these mobs and I'll be good to go. At least for these lower level mobs. When it comes to higher level mobs, I might need to change up some armor and get something that's more specifically suited for them, which again is a question of, is it worth my time? Is it worth the expense of getting that whole new set of armor just to come hunting on the moon? Okay, that's a level 21. See, it auto targets there. I hate this fact. Like, it just automatically auto targets. Let's get out of there. Alright. This is gonna make it very hard with this new hunting system and the auto targets. These mobs are a little bit too varied in density level, right? Because again, level 9 to level 21, that's a huge difference. Level 9 I can take comfortably, knowing like, alright, even if he gets a crit hit, I'm probably fine. These guys, these big guys, level 21, I can't take them even with the armor I've got right now. So that's definitely going to hold the moon back as far as stuff like that goes. And some of the stuff I'm pointing out, not to be negative, just so that you guys know what's going on when you come out here, right? Because some people, you know, maybe they have no interest in Arkadia, but they want to try something new, or they've played on Arkadia for so long, they're like, maybe the moon's worth it. It's good to know what it's about before you sort of spend your time to get out here. Because that's one of the things I found too, especially with space. One of the most annoying aspects of it is sometimes like you get shot down a few times. Sometimes it's a little bit tougher than expected to get out, and that can be an annoyance in and of itself. I think that's one of the things that sort of needs to change about the game. Space can be like a very dull process, if you ask me, like getting between planets and stuff like that. And I know some of it's, ooh, we got a different one here. Level 17, this guy I can't take either. See, this is the problem. Again, you guys are seeing like some of the problems I'm running into hunting out here. Because I tried taking on those like level 17 dudes. It's a close call. It's a close battle. And a lot of the time they're going to win it. They're going to get that kill on me. And I don't want it to be like that last video where it's like you guys are just watching me run back and forth to a death point. Let's see what level is this guy. Come on. Oh, no. Alright, we got some other ones here though. Level 19. What do we have here? Level 21, and I think he was 19, wasn't he? Oh, level 11. Alright, let's take him on. So you gotta really pick and choose your mobs here. Alright, he's not gonna target me. That's okay. There we go. Cool. So again, what you're gonna see, like the level 11s, like I'm doing enough damage to them, but by the time they get to me, even though my armor isn't really working, I'm good to go. And this is one of those things too, like they might want to consider for the moon adjusting the types of damage that's done by the Sicarus, because you know, I mean, it depends, right? It's all about balance. It's all about how they thought these things through. You can see the loot out here is a little bit more interesting. You're getting less shrapnel and more other stuff, which is good. What I found from that global I got a lot of stuff that had like an okay markup to it. It had a couple % markup points, which is always good. It means if you're a professional hunter, if you want to sort of hunt professionally, maybe you can come out here and get some loot that you know you couldn't otherwise get, which is definitely cool. And that's one of those things that could draw people out here, could draw people into buying the armor that's required to come out here, because they know, hey, I'm going to put in so much time hunting out here. It's worth it for me to do this because I'm going to get that extra like 6% back in markup, and I'm only losing 5% on average, so now I don't need to deposit. that would be one of those things that would drive someone to get the oh, that wasn't too bad. That's one of those things that would drive people to get the armor. So really, time's going to tell, and I'm interested to see sort of what you guys are finding and how you guys are thinking about the moon. Because I've done like 3 videos up here. Mining, I've done a little bit more mining. I'd say definitely don't come mine on the moon. Sorry, it's not worth it. But here, like, look at this. We're getting some solid loot here. We're getting like 4 PD hits, and overall it's pretty good. We've got some new missions to complete. So like for those of you guys who are running out of missions, you can come out here, you kill 100 of these guys, you're going to get some free skills. Might as well. Especially for a lot of you guys who are really like doing that mission grind. But look at that damage that I took right there. And this is with armor. Again, that's what I want to stress. Like, I've got a really good set of armor on, and it's not holding these guys back. They're still doing a ton of damage. So like that makes it hard. It's a challenge. Again, you got these level 21s in here. You've got to be sort of patient with your hunting out here. That's why you're going to see like this hunt is going to last a lot longer than a lot of my 50 PED hunts on Calypso. And part of it's because I know Calypso better, so I know where to go. But that is, that's, again, something to consider. Every time you go to a new planet, every time you go to a new world, there is some time that's got to be spent just learning the areas, learning how to play it, learning the terrain, and figuring out, like, okay, like, this terrain's a little too rocky, a little too bumpy. So, like, out here, it's not as easy as, like, taking on an Aatrox on that Jura Plateau, because the plateau is nice and flat, so I can take it from a distance. Here, ooh, see, I hate that. It auto-targets the next mob, and it's like, that's not the one I want to target. That one is, though. But we got to go around so we don't drag this guy in. I don't think these guys have too much of an aggro range, but if I get attacked by two of these things, it's probably over for me. Which, again, it's fine. It's a good way to come out here and learn some skills and really learn how to stop relying on armor. And really play your distances and everything like that, and play your terrain. It used to be that you could play the terrain, so if it was on a hill, the mobs would walk up it a little bit slower, so actually shooting from a hill was a big advantage to you. Oh, come on. I hate this. It auto-targeted this mob. So this is the problem. If I'm not fast enough, that F button, when I hit it, it's going to auto-target the wrong mob, and when this happens, now I think I'm dead, honestly. Like, I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, I'm dead. And it's not going to stop auto-targeting either, is it? No. There we go. See? There was nothing I could do there. The game automatically auto-targeted the wrong mob. So that's the problem with the F button. You can't use F to untarget. You've got to just sort of walk back and keep yourself out of range. But I was within range when I auto-targeted. I automatically shot that mob, and I died. And honestly, that's one of those things, that's one of those command changes that MindArk made that sort of makes the game not as much fun. I like the auto-target when I'm working with a good spawn, but this spawn is not a good, this spawn does not work with the current way that the game's structured. And that's a perfect example of sort of what I've been going through hunting out here. But let's, we're just going to call it a run there, because honestly, like, the design still needs some work. Let me see. Oh, actually, we can keep going. I didn't want to go back out there to hunt, but since the mobs are right here, we'll keep going. So we'll keep going. We'll reward them. They spawned us right by the spawn, so that's okay. But like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I think some of the developers behind Arkadia and behind this world have left to learn. That's not a bad thing, though, because that's if they're willing to work with the players, if they're willing to listen to players, listen to sort of what needs to be done. This place definitely has some potential. I love the story behind it. I love the fact that just randomly flying throughout this world, you can find some really cool stuff. And you can make some interesting discoveries. It's just with this auto-target, it's a little rough. And I think there might even be a setting that I can use to disable that. I'm not sure. But for now, we'll do it like this. Like you can see here, again, with the terrain, it sort of blocks it. My character wants to run forward. Those are like little sort of inconveniences, but when you've got a mob like this that your armor is not really protecting you from, they can cost you. And that's sort of the problem I've been running into just hunting out here. A lot of the mobs that I'm hunting are doing damage that I'm not used to taking. Oh, and I took the wrong one, but this is okay. We're right by the spawn, so this is actually like the best case scenario for it. And of course I'm going to fall, but this guy won't. Right. But you can see that, like, look at that damage that he did right off the bat. He did 40 damage. Got crit hits, that's okay. And then we're just going to die right away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run back and try to take him out again. Let's revive. Let's heal up right away. So again, I know it sounds like I'm being a little rough on Arkadia Moon, but at the same time, I think I'm hoping that what's happening is some of these developers, some of the people behind this game might even be listening to this video, or they might be getting suggestions from some of you guys, right? Or someone might be listening who has some chance to like sort of make a change. And I think that these are all relevant points that I'm bringing up. The other thing too is I don't want to recommend that people go out here and then people have a bad experience, right? I want to tell everybody sort of what's up and let them make up their own mind. There's definitely some pluses. You guys saw me global, like the loot here. We're gonna see after this. I'm gonna let's kill this guy here. So again, we've got to play the mountains right, so that we don't have too many like dead zones. This should be actually a pretty good area here. I don't want to move too far back because then I'm gonna stop targeting him. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. If he hits me hard though, yeah, he's starting off with a good hit. And he starts out, see, like, they're doing so much damage to me. And this is a level 17 mob. It's just like, it's a level 17 mob, but it's not built for a level 17 player armor, right? Keep in mind, I'm using a level 20 gun. This gun isn't maxed out to level 25. I've got an amp on it that costs $70, right? Like 70 USD. Like, there's a lot of money that goes into this setup, and it's still not good enough to take these guys. And it's because of the damage they're doing. I'm sure of that. It's just, it's frustrating. But it is what it is, and next time I come out here again, I'm going to bring out a few different armors. That was probably my bad. I probably should have loaded up on different types of armor before I left. I'm just so used to Ghost and Vigilante getting the job done that it's weird. But again, you know, that's how it works. You sort of come to a new place and you figure out new stuff. So let's take a look at the loot here, see sort of how we did. We went out with 31, I believe, PEDs. And we got a return that was a little lackluster, to be honest. We're looking at, what, 27 PEDs returned, I believe? Yeah. 27.79 PEDs is what we got. So we did take a loss there. We did take a pretty... What did we take? 7 months. So we took about a 3 PED loss plus repair costs. So let's throw that in there. So yeah. So we lost about 9 PEDs total on this run. 8 to 9 PEDs. There's going to be some markup that we get. Like I was saying, these items are a bit higher markup than what I'm usually used to getting. You can see here the Sakara's hide can sell for 118%. That's pretty good. It's probably because they're a little bit harder to hunt than most mobs. The wool sells for some, 7%, and there's definitely some markup here. So that's it's not a horrible run. Honestly, we're probably going to end up losing a total of like, I'd say about 7 to 8 PEDs. Yeah, 7 to 8 PEDs lost. 7 to 8 PEDs lost, which isn't too bad. But yeah, it's not great. I'm not going to say come out here and make a ton of money. It's just, it's okay. And because I'd have to invest in new armor to come out here and hunt, maybe it's not worth it. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know down below in the video. Sorry this one ran a little bit longer, and sorry like of the deaths and all that. I'm trying to take these guys and make this work, but it's a really challenging area to hunt. It really is. Anyways, like I said, thanks for watching, and until next time, peace.